Imagine this. You and your friends descend into a 100-floor dungeon beneath the Candy Kingdom. You're armed with a sword, a stretchy dog, and one pressing question: why are prisoners escaping? You ask Princess Bubblegum and she responds, "I don't know." That's it, that's the plot. Welcome to one of the weirdest games ever made from one of the greatest animated shows of all time. This is Adventure Time. Explore the dungeon because I don't know. A game with a title that feels like a punchline, a premise that sounds like a fever dream, and a legacy that fans are still debating over a decade later. Was it a hidden gem, a misunderstood experiment, or a royal waste of time? Let's find out. Released in 2013, Explore the Dungeon Because I Don't Know was developed by WayForward Technologies, the same team behind the Shanty series and DuckTales Remastered, known for their love of retro-inspired gameplay. WayForward seemed like a perfect fit for a dungeon crawler. Pendleton Ward, the creator of Adventure Time, was directly involved. He helped write dialogue, contributed character ideas, and even the absurd title. The goal: capture the chaotic, irreverent humor of the show inside a cooperative, 16-bit inspired video game. The game was published by D3 Publisher and released on every major platform at the time: Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Wii U, PC, and 3 Deciscons, with the full cast on board and a development team that knew retro. The expectations were high, but what fans got was something different at its core. This is a roguelike light dungeon crawler. You choose from characters like Finn, Jake, Marceline, LSB, Ice King, and more. Each one has unique stats and special abilities. Finn is balanced, Marceline floats over traps, Ice King freezes enemies, LSB complains. You explore floor after floor of a randomized dungeon. Enemies spawn in swarms, traps explode beneath your feet. There's treasure, temporary items, upgrades, and occasional boss fights. Every 5 floors, you can return to the surface to bank your loot. But there's a catch. If you die before banking your treasure, you lose it forever in theory. This is a great gameplay loop. Risk versus reward. In practice, it gets repetitive. Enemies start to feel the same. The upgrades are too slow, and the environments barely change until the deepest floors. Local co-op lets up to 4 players team up, which adds chaos and fun. But the camera doesn't scale well, and with multiple characters, it becomes nearly unplayable in tight spaces. It feels like the bones of a great game are there, but the flesh is missing. The story begins with Princess Bubblegum asking for help. Prisoners are escaping the Candy Kingdom's dungeon. Why, she literally says, "I don't know." That sets the tone. Throughout the game, you descend deeper and interact with quirky characters like Cinnamon Bun, Peppermint Butler, and Flame Princess. But the story never builds. You never feel like you're unraveling a mystery. It's just a loop: fight, descend, bank treasure, repeat. The closest thing to a plot twist is the revelation of who's behind the escapes. But even then, the payoff is underwhelming. There's no final cinematic or emotional resolution. It just ends. It's like a long, meandering episode of the show that forgot to write a third act. Upon release, the game was met with disappointment. Critics praised the voice acting and soundtrack, both undeniably strong. The original cast delivered, and Jake Kaufman's music absolutely slaps. But that wasn't enough. On Metacritic, the game scored in the mid-40s to 50s range across platforms. IGN called it boring and tedious, citing how repetitive the gameplay felt. Game Informer noted it had charm but lacked substance. Fans were also torn. Some appreciated the quirky tone, but most found the grind unbearable. Even speedrunners and hardcore fans of the show struggled to finish the full 100 floors. Adventure Time has had a strange relationship with video games. Before this, there was Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage? A Zelda I-inspired adventure that, while short, was well loved for its charm and tight design. Afterward came Finn and Jake Investigations, which felt more like a point-and-click detective story with minimal combat. Then we got Pirates of the Enchiridion, a turn-based RPG with fully voiced dialogue and an actual narrative arc. Compared to those, Explore the Dungeon is the weakest in terms of story and mechanical polish. It feels more like an arcade experiment than a finished game. It tried to be a love letter to fans, but it ended up sounding more like a shrug. The big question: is this game canon to Adventure Time? Sort of. Pendleton Ward was involved. The characters are consistent, the locations are real, but the plot is never mentioned in the show, and there's no reference to these events in later episodes. It's best thought of as a side story, like one of those spin-off comics. Fun if you want more Adventure Time, but not essential viewing. So what is this game? Really? It's a relic of a time when licensed games were still rolling the dice. It's a product of ambition, limitations, and a strange love for chaos. It's not good, but it's interesting. If you love Adventure Time, it might still be worth a playthrough, especially with friends, and especially if you don't mind some mindless dungeon crawling. But go in knowing that you're not about to find the heart of the Candy Kingdom down there. You're just exploring the dungeon. Because I don't know, thanks for watching.